Today's topic: should the death penalty be abolished? Proposing the motion, Folashade for Oraiwo, Oniboshije. Opposing the motion, Salewa or Titokoru. For the sake of not making this video longer than necessary, I will be sticking to the initials of the debaters only, except of course for my own name, which remains the shortest and easiest to pronounce. As always, I remain your faithful moderator, Lola Jamaborolo. F.F.O, over to you. Thank you, lol. It's only the two both of your name that I shortened. Don't shorten my own name, please. Thank you, moderator. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'll start with a quote. Nelson Mandela would have been executed had it not been for the discretion of the judge to substitute imprisonment. I'll end that quote. The death penalty is a violation of the fundamental human right to life. It is irreversible, and the risk of executing an innocent person is terrifyingly real. Take the case of George Stanley Jr., a 14-year-old black boy that was executed in 1944 for a crime he did not commit. Guess what? The judgment was overturned 70 years later. 70 years too late to save his life. Let's come to our very own Nigeria. Flashback, story time, a true life story. A Daily National reported the events of a firing squad. After the first round of shots, the delegated doctor moved closer to the bodies to examine them. To his surprise, one of the convicts was still alive, mortally wounded, but muttering inaudibly, almost inaudibly. What was shocking was not that this convict was alive, it was what he was muttering in Yoruba, and I quote, Ikuoro, Laishe, Laijali. This can be translated to mean, oh, what a painful death, when I have committed no crime, when I have not stolen. It is a well-known fact that premium is placed on statements made at the point of death, known as death declarations. Using this, it is difficult to argue that this particular convict was not innocent. This is just one out of how many? How many more have been sent to their untimely graves, worse still, not by criminals, but by a system that was meant to protect them? What apology is sufficient enough to make up for an error that takes a man's life? The death penalty is also discriminatory. Studies have shown that marginalized groups, especially racial minorities, have a higher likelihood of receiving the death penalty. Now, why should one life be valued more than another for the same crime? I like this quote, so I will quote it. No one is ever free of biases, but some allow bias to influence their actions more than others. Now let me ask, our judges, are they not human? So why give a mistake-prone system the power to choose which life is more valuable? Let's talk about cost. I know that some of you are thinking that the death penalty is cheaper than the alternative. Well, guess what? It's not. Let's take California, for example, where over $4 billion was spent from 1978 on death penalty cases, with only, guess how many? 13 executions carried out. That is money that could have gone into healthcare, education, or even rehabilitation of these offenders. What about our very own Nigeria, where death penalty convicts often spend years in prison before their execution? This suggests that the cost of death penalty is just as significant as the alternative. Even the Bible encourages us to forgive. Remember John 8:7? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. The death penalty erodes our humanity and desensitizes us to violence. It's time to end it. It's getting hot in here and I love it. S.O.J, Thank you, moderator. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, first off, justice must be served. It was Benjamin Franklin that said, and I quote, until the unaffected are as outraged as the affected, justice will not be served. Now, imagine, I don't even want you to imagine, because how can you imagine being the relative, the loved one of a victim whose life was brutally taken, knowing that the murderer is out there somewhere living? Does that sound or feel like justice to you? What about grievous crimes like the massacre of innocent Nigerians, like the traders from Bodija Market, Ibadan, innocent school children from Yobe, policemen on active duty in Nasarawa, and other crimes as grievous as these? If we abolish the death penalty, what are we telling those who have the intentions of committing such crimes in the near future? That they should go ahead. The worst that will happen to them is that they will be kept in a safe location, fed daily, and still alive. It was Grace Poe that said, and I quote, "If through the death penalty we can create fears, then though it is against my will, we have to do it." Folashade, you mentioned cases like George Sidney Jr. and some others, which, yes, they are sad and horrific. But what about the many other countless cases where justice was rightly served and society is better off for it? We should not be here discussing how to abolish the death penalty. We should be here discussing how to make our justice systems more fair, accurate, and efficient so that those who get it are those who actually deserve it. Countries like Singapore use the death penalty for serious crimes, and they have one of the lowest crime rates in the world. Some crimes are just so horrific that they require a strong message of disapproval. And sometimes the only message strong enough is the death penalty. We cannot create a society where murderers feel free to kill because they know that they will live afterwards. Also, let's not act like life imprisonment, which is the alternative, is cheap. Keeping criminals in prisons for decades costs taxpayers a fortune. Quick and fair trials are the better alternative. What about Exodus 21:21? Whoever strikes a man such that he dies will also be put to death. Even the Bible supports justice for grievous crimes. Abolishing the death penalty sends a dangerous message. Commit the worst crimes and society will still accommodate you. No, we can't have that. Or, Folashade, you want to invite murderers into your house for dinner?
Exactly.
Ladies, remember, this is Wahala Talks, not Wahala Fights. F.F.O, your reporter. This is the bitter truth. Killing murderers does not bring back the victims, but it does drag society down to their level. You spoke of Singapore, Salewa, but what about Norway? Norway focuses on rehabilitation, not retribution, and it has one of the lowest crime rates in the world. And that's your Bible verse. It's from the Old Testament. Jesus preached forgiveness. Also, false convictions are not rare. One only needs to enter a single search into Google and have more than enough examples of innocents that the death penalty has wrongfully punished. The death penalty is not helping society, but it is definitely hurting humanity. It's time to end it. S.O.J, your move. Oh yeah, now, let's be real. Norway is not Nigeria. Our system is not ready for your utopian ideas. We can't trust every criminal to reform. Some people are beyond redemption. And talk about humanity. What about the humanity of the victims and their families? Shouldn't society show that serious crimes have severe consequences? As for the Bible, Jesus did not say that crimes should go unpunished. Forgiveness is personal. Justice is societal. Let's not confuse the two. And lastly, talking about cost, Nigerian prisons are already overpopulated. Life imprisonment will only make that worse. Abolishing the death penalty should not be our focus. Our focus should be on making our justice system more effective, more efficient, and more reliable, not on abolishing the death penalty. Thank you. Okay, ladies, your closing statements. Straight to the point. My closing statements. My opponent used a statement that greatly saddens my heart, and I quote, "Some people are just beyond redemption." Really? Really, Salewa? I believe in justice. I believe in criminals and those who have caused others grief answering for their crimes. But I also believe in humanity, in our ability to do what is right, even when it is hard, to seek the ideal when the alternative is easy. Countries like Norway have shown us that the ideal is possible. All we need to do is decide that every life is worth the effort and then put in that effort. The death penalty is beneath us, beneath our values, beneath our ideal. We need to end it. We must end it. Thank you. I admire your outlook, Folashade. I really do. And I wish that we lived in a different world, but we don't. Not yet. This is reality, and in reality, actions have consequences. We cannot create a society where a man takes another's life and sleeps comfortably at night knowing that the worst that will happen to him is that he will be locked up somewhere 18 and living. You spoke about values, and one of our core values is justice, to fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. And in this case, that is the victim and their loved ones. The death penalty is not just a deterrent to grievous crimes, it is also a commitment to justice, to doing what is right, even when it is painful, even when we would rather not. For the sake of justice, we should not abolish the death penalty. Thank you. Wahala truly did. Thank you both for such a passionate and well-rounded debate. Now over to you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think made the better argument? Type 1 in the comment section below if you think that F.F.O proposing the motion made the better argument, and 2 in the comment section below if you think that S.O.J made the better argument in the comment section below. The debater who wins today's voting exercise will be winning this quarter-used, it's not even up to quarter, barely used transparent nail polish. Any debater that says anything against this prize will never debate on this platform again. So watch what you say, ladies. Yes, I know what you are thinking. The prize is amazing. I mean, you can even see the excitement on the face of the debaters. I said you can see the excitement on the face of the debaters. Also, ladies and gentlemen, all jokes aside, this is a very important topic. You can also let us know your comments, if you have any questions, or even your rebuttals in the comment section below. Next time, my beautiful, captivating audience, stay informed, stay entertained, and stay out of trouble. Remember, this is not just talks. This is Wahala Talks.